right. Welcome to the show, Mortgage Madness with Mike Hobbs. We've got Jerry Spray here with Farm Bureau. Happy pre-Thanksgiving Day, right, Jerry?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were talking about some of the stuff you were going to do. You're doing what? Frying a turkey? Is that what you're doing?
We're going to try fried turkey the first time ever this year.
What city do you live in?
Rathdrum.
Rathdrum. Okay, so we see like a mushroom cloud over Rathdrum. Sometime tomorrow we'll know.
And I've watched enough videos. It could be me.
It could be me. No, it didn't go right.
Yeah.
But Jerry's going to be with us here for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes or so, however long we decide we're going to talk. And we appreciate you tuning in each and every week to Mortgage Madness with Mike Hobbs, where we bring you anecdotal stuff about the real estate industry, about loans, about anything related to multiple different industries. For example, like we have Jerry today, he coincides with what I do in lending and also with home ownership, because you need home ownership, homeowners insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about some of those things today, and you can certainly post up. I'm going to reach forward here. I'm going to turn on my chat. So if anybody you're listening to us or watching us, you want to post a chat in here on any of the platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube. If you want to post a note or ask a question, Jerry and I will answer it. So if you have any questions about insurance and home ownership and home owners insurance, go ahead and do that. Hey, my background is in lending. I've done a lot of different things. My resume is prolific, but you don't care because it doesn't really matter. It's all about proving to your clients what you do, right? We can all come in and talk great. You've even seen, and we'll probably play that another time, not today, but we'll play it another time with my mom as an unsolicited testimonial. I remember once going for a job and I sent that in as an unsolicited testimonial so that the person deciding whether they wanted to work with me would know, like, unbiased opinion, that I've never told a lie. And I've always been an honest boy. And that's my mom, God rest her soul, doing that.
I've watched the video and I'm going to tell you, I believe it.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. I've never told a lie and I'm an honest boy, according to mom. Not that she knows anyway. But this is all about you and solving problems. And so I've been doing that for a long time. Radio shows that I had in the past, we'll see one of those was Mortgage Madness, which is the precursor to this, or the predecessor to this. It was a radio show that my partner Dan did with me many, many years ago. You can tell I don't have white hair in that photo of those that are watching. You're also listening to us. You can listen to us on Spotify or any of the major podcast stations out there, iHeartRadio, you name it. But it's a picture of me in tights. I don't have the tights anymore with darker hair. Now I am white. So we did that Mortgage Madness show. That was consumer advocacy program. And then we did Rebel Realtors Radio, which was a program that was built around doing things differently. And I mentor agents under the auspices of Agent Superstar. I'm going to pop that up here real quick. Agent Superstar is my mentoring program, coaching program with agents that are looking to find distinctive competency. I talk about it all the time, that no one out there in coaching actually comes forward with something where you can say, do this, push this button, and the outcome will be X. And I think in today's market, especially with the changes, real estate agents are looking for distinctive competency, meaning they do real estate better than anybody else in their vertical, in their town, their county, wherever it is. How can you actually say it? How can you do it? And we'll talk about some more in other episodes. Mortgage Madness may seem and sound like it's all about just mortgages, but it's not. It's related to anything in our real estate industry, real estate related. Can be legal. I'm going to have an attorney on here. I'll get Sean on. Sean's an attorney. Nice. Love to have her on and talk about things like that. But that's really what the show is about. So we're going to talk about it. Stick around too. At the end of the show here in another 10, 15 minutes, we're going to talk about my segment, my new segment, which is what's up with that. And I got a barn burner here. This is really bad. So you're going to want to tune in and listen and watch me describe what happened and why it's what's up with that? Really?
Interesting.
Like, okay. Right? So we'll talk about that. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Jerry, thanks for coming into the show today. And let's talk about you. How long have you been in the business? What brought you into the business? Tell us some background on you a little bit. What do you like about it?
Oh, boy. I've been in the business about 5 years now.
Okay.
Born and raised in Idaho, so I'm pretty familiar with the area, all parts, north to south, east to west.
Okay.
And this gave me an opportunity to kind of get back to helping people. I know that sounds probably a little bit cliche, but a lot of my background career has been in some form or another helping people, including a wee bit of a stint in law enforcement until I had a bad knee incident.
Yeah.
But this gives me a chance to really dive into the individual, the family, what's happening, what are they trying to take care of, what's their intention on what they're spending their money to take care of it, and then let's maximize protecting it with that information. And that's what gets me up in the morning.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what are some of the mistakes people can make, or the problems that you see? Because I know you do tune-ups. You do one for our family. I have all my stuff with Jerry, all my property, all my stuff, anything, the things, the toys, they're with Jerry. And I've been with a lot of different companies, a lot of the large, the big three that we call them. I've been with them over the years, but Jerry's service is unparalleled. We had a couple of trees. Well, over the last 2 years, I think we've had 3 or 4 trees fall on our property. We're in Coeur d'Alene. Pardon me. And one went through a neighbor's house off my property, and Jerry's response time was like that. So that's something you get from Jerry. But give us some stories. What are some of the problems that people do, or some of the mistakes they make? I think everybody looks at insurance like, it's a necessary evil, but the evil is pronounced. So what are some of the mistakes people can make, and how can you provide solutions for those maybe?
Well, that's what it is too. Is a lot of people go into this thinking, I have to. I'm not wanting to, but I have to buy it. So therefore, what's the quickest, easiest, cheapest way to get it done, instead of what actually covers what I need it to do. Everyone has a need that has to be satisfied, and they find out if they have enough insurance. Unfortunately, one accident too late.
There's a problem.
They haven't had a tune-up or review. And you kind of mentioned that the tune-up concept is, I try to do a renewal with my clients once a year, and I do a process called a Your World evaluation. It kind of takes,
I've seen it.
Yeah, it kind of takes me out of the equation. I learn about what are their assets, how are they building their assets, what family are they responsible for, the 7 main risks that insurance can be positioned to protect them from that, and then from that, it gives me the data I need to give them the proper recommendation. I can't count how many times. It's probably every month I have someone come in with a policy that was really good for an 18 to 20-year-old, and they're 35-year-old, married, 3 kids, a house. They have tons of assets, and they have enough coverage to cover an 18-year-old.
Right.
And
that's not
it
good.
Just doesn't get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell our audience. So I think that they have a connotation towards insurance as money out, nothing gain. And so when somebody we always hear underinsured, I think maybe there's a predilection to think that, hey, I'm going to have to spend more money when times are tight, especially in this economy. Yeah. How do you use that pain? And moreover, how do you use that pain? Moreover, does it always mean that you're going to spend more money per month?
Absolutely not. A lot of times it's just repositioning what you're spending. I mean, a lot of times once you start working with a budget and you kind of know exactly what you're trying to get accomplished, how much risk are you comfortable with? I have different levels of individuals who have different tolerances for risk. And based on that, we can make adjustments. We can move deductibles. We can move how we're covering something. We can take certain pieces and put them on storage policies, make these adjustments through the year, that as long as you're willing to have that open conversation, we can maximize the dollars you're spending, find where the discounts can come from, but then make sure it's there to do what you expected it to.
Right. And that's the main thing. It's like when the trees fell, that's one example. Pretty scary. And knowing that I could reach out to Jerry and know that it was there and know that we were covered properly is really important. But you're right. There's different ways you can push it around in their financial world to figure it out.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I appreciate that. Hey, listen, you're listening to, isn't that funny? Hey, listen, you're listening to, I love the way I do that. You're listening to Mortgage Matters with Mike Hobbs. I'm Mike Hobbs. I'm with Jerry Spray. He's an insurance agent with Farm Bureau, and we're talking to him about insurance and protecting your home, probably your largest asset, your most valuable asset that you'll ever own, right?
Absolutely. As far as a physical asset, that's usually the one that grows the quickest.
Yeah.
It develops most of your equity that you start building up through your life, and it is the one that you need to make sure is covered properly.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a rash of increases the last few years. You know this.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I work together consistently helping people in this area. That are we keeping pace with the coverage? I mean, less than 4 years, when I first got in here, 125 to 150 a square foot was more than enough for the majority of homes.
Right.
That doesn't even cover a spec home anymore.
Right.
Or is your agent making the adjustments that are necessary to make sure if we have that oh crap moment, it hits the fan?
Right.
Am I going to get in return what I thought I've been paying out for?
Right. That's important. You're talking about, I was talking, you agree that probably the largest or most valuable asset you have, except for my wife's wedding ring or her engagement ring. That is more valuable than that, Jerry, I'll tell you. Caroline, if you're listening, it's absolutely more valuable than a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You let her know. You're my insurance guy. You can you can back that up.
I got it. I'll write that.
Yeah,
I'll sign off on
that. You
that.
can say that. Just
Yes.
say it right now. The ring is more valuable.
It is Caroline and the ring are more valuable than the home.
Okay, through Caroline. You threw Caroline.
Well,
okay. I'll take that. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with that. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving show here. It's Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Mortgage Madness, Mike Hobbs, Jerry Spray, Farm Bureau. Again, we're talking about that. Hey, I want to give a shout out real quick. And I told Jared before we started the show, if you have anybody you want to shout out to, certainly can. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Kim Eves, I know she's tuned in today. Hi, Kim. She's down in California, Southern Cal, and I work with her quite a bit over the years, and she's great. Love her as a real estate agent. And Kim Eves is down there. We have had clients together. And Kim was listening to the show today. She had a great question for me just before I went on the show. She talked about rates coming down. They're going to continue to come down. Yeah, Loan Depot. I work for Loan Depot, by the way. I don't know if you know that out there. There it is. Loan Depot's up on the screen, but I'm a home loan officer with Loan Depot, NMLS 1804310. And I've been doing this about 38 years now through various types of verticals within the real estate business, law, from escrow, owning an escrow, to real estate companies, mortgage companies, things like that. So I love what I do, and I love the people I work with. And Kim is one of those that I love working with. And I want to give a shout out to, and if you need Kim's information, you can always text me. You can also chat with us here live. If you're watching, you can chat with us. And Kim, you can reach out, say hi, let me know you're there. And I can get you Kim's information if you need it. So just text me. My numbers are displaying down at the bottom as well. Jerry's are going to be as well. We're going back and forth on the ticker tape down below, but you can reach out. Also, Michelle Johnson, she's in Texas. It's my sister. Our folks are both passed on, and we remember some great times. What do you remember your childhood? Did you have a good childhood or a bad one?
Oh, absolutely. I'm born and raised here.
Bad one?
No, it was good. I was very fortunate to didn't always have a lot of things, but I always had my mom, my dad, my grandparents, had a lot of family around.
Fond memories of Thanksgiving.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah.
We did too. What's the one thing that stands out for you that represents your mom or your family with Thanksgiving? What is that one thing?
You know, one of the interesting things, a lot of people do a ham.
Yeah.
Ham is part of it. Our family has always done a sweet ham, which people kind of get you a little bit of a sideways look going, a ham sweet, how does this work out on this?
Yeah,
and yet my grandma has passed this recipe to my mom, who's now passed it to my wife. And so when we get together, it's now my wife's responsibility to bring the family ham.
Nice.
And it's a sweet glazed ham that they then make the gravy out of it as well. And it is, I'm telling you, it's to die for. It doesn't sound right. It is perfect.
But that triggers your memory of
every time I first thought of
when you were
Thanksgiving.
younger,
Yep.
when you're at home. Yeah.
We knew it was Thanksgiving when the sweet ham came.
That's great.
Yeah.
What triggers me is monkey bread. So my mom always made monkey bread. You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the time she put, the amount of butter that went into the cooking trays or pans are 2 inches high or so, and they're glass. And she cut out the dough in circles, and then she would start to from the inside, and she would work it around like a spiral, taking it around and fill it all up, and then it would rise. So when you pulled it off, you pulled off these chunks of bread.
Yep.
They were just, they had butter in them. They were awesome. So monkey bread brings back memories immediately to being at home. I had a great upbringing too. One sibling, my sister Michelle. Hi, Michelle. And happy Thanksgiving to them as well.
Yeah.
But those are my fond memories. So wishing everybody that's listening and not listening a happy Thanksgiving. Also, on this Thanksgiving Eve, it was great. Early this morning, I had a signing. We closed a veteran and his family, first home. They're in their 40s, I believe, and their first home. Extremely excited.
That's awesome.
They're Washington. They bought in Washington. They did not think that they could own. They've tried with other loan officers, and they had some complexities in their file. But I spent the time in working it through, and we actually got them approved for a VA loan. I think his total cost on a $411,000 house, I think total out of pocket was something like $4,000. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We wiped out all the closing costs. We had solid contributions. We did something you've heard me talk about here, which is the buyer benefits bundle, which I talk about all the time. And that's something that's real. If you're interested in finding out how to make buying affordable, like Chris and his family did, please give me a call anytime. You can reach me. My numbers are ticking down at the bottom there, and we'll talk about how we can put together a package that makes your buying less terrifying, and more affordable. So that's really cool. Hey, what else, Jerry? Give us a takeaway. We're going to end here in just a second, but what should people do, and what should they look for, and how do they make a decision? Because there's so many loan officers, there's so many insurance agents out there, and we're all kind of talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
And one size fits all kind of mentality. Insurance is insurance. Loan officers are loan officers. Realtors are realtors, but they're really not. So what's the thing that differentiates you and Farm Bureau from all the rest that people should look to as a value?
Wow. Okay.
Other than your good looks, what else?
Yeah, that won't be it. So, I think one of the things that really kind of sets us apart a little bit is we are an Idaho-owned company. It's kind of it's a slogan that comes back from the 80s they've used as we know Idaho, we grew up here. There is a different perspective when you're looking at insurance covering in this state versus a national exposure. Now, there's a Farm Bureau in all 50 states, but we're the Idaho chapter. So unfortunately, this happens to all of us in the insurance business. Something happens in Florida, it affects everyone's rate in certain big companies because they have to share it across. We're disaster free from that kind of activity. We're represented in Idaho. We have a great understanding of what it takes, but at the end of the day, if you don't spend the time with the individual to find out what their actual needs are,
right,
where their holes are, how to best position their dollars and make sure it does what they expect it to do when they have that moment in time when no one wants to go through it, it doesn't matter. And I think we're starting to lose some of that when we don't have the individual aspect. Right. It's real easy to do this real quick and get a number in 12 seconds or less.
Right. So I call that self-diagnosis. Yeah. You type into these online calculators and you come up with an answer and it's not what you want. You go, I'm not going to try. And you self-diagnose. So my recommendation is call either one of us for our specific jobs that we do. But definitely, I think calling you is better than going online and trying to figure it out. Because there's just different cracks in what you do and me. It's not one size fits all.
Well, and that's the thing. One of the things for you and I that I think's made this a good marriage, but I'd say a great marriage, is we're willing to go past this, just the generic. If it completely is perfect and everything's right and no problems at all, everyone can do that.
Sure.
But one of the reasons why I like to bring people to you is it doesn't have to be the exact perfect scenario to know I will get maximum effort. Yeah. I know when I drop someone off on you that you're going to treat them like I treat them. They're going to get your full attention. You're going to look at all the angles on how am I going to best put them together in what they're trying to accomplish in their lifetime, and let me find the ways to do it. And I think that is the differentiator with someone like you or myself compared to generic online activity.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I deal with those because clients make choices. And they don't always go with you. 90% of my clients that I refer to you do. But those that don't, I always hear of it, and I'm dealing with those insurance companies and their dissemination of information to us, and it's not timely always. So I appreciate the timeliness there. Hey, let's move on. We're going to finish up here. Thanks for listening again. Mortgage Madness with Mike Hobbs. We've got Jerry Spray today with me. He's an insurance agent with Farm Bureau Insurance of Idaho, right?
Yes.
And he's amazing. His numbers are scrolling down there. What's your phone number for our listeners on Spotify? What's that? As he's taking a sip of his Gatorade.
Yeah. Well, you can't see that on Spotify, so we're good.
Oh, never mind.
There we go. So my number is 208-772-6662. That's my local office. When you call in there, not only do you have me, who's a licensed agent, but I also have 3 licensed staff members. So you get a real team with me.
You do. Yeah. I know. I've experienced it. Okay, time to move on to this segment. It's what's up with that. I think those question marks should pop up here because that's what I'm saying. What's up with that? I mean, we all go through stuff and we have things happen to us and it causes us to pause. And so this is a new segment, pardon me, a new segment that I'm talking about. What's up with that? Because it just drives me nuts. And so this one is where I have a Jeep. It's my wife's Jeep. And it's out of warranty. And we got a warranty notice. Here's the letter from the what are they? They used to be the FCA USLC. They've now changed to Stellantis is a company. And Stellantis now, as well as the FCA, where it was, they oversee a lot of different manufacturers, Jeep or Chrysler, you name it. And so they're kind of in charge of those warranties, extended warranties, and also with recall notices. And so we got this extended warranty in 2019, late. I jumped on it, went to the dealership, followed the instructions, got it all taken care of, went over to Finley, Jeep. So we're going to talk about Finley in just a minute, and we'll find out. I'll come back on what's up with that next week or the week after and let you know what happened. So here's the thing that galls me is that we have this, we go in, we take care of it. They take pictures of the dash. The dash had lifted and it's trashed. We took pictures of it, or they did. The dealership sent it in, said, okay, you're good to go. We'll let you know what's in. Never called. I kept calling. COVID hit. I kept calling. Sorry, it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Kept calling. We had another warranty thing that came up a year ago in May 21. Went in for that, and they said, hey, let's check on it then. They checked. No, we don't have anything. So we've let it go for like over a year now, and no one's calling us. So I finally called this week.
Over a year.
It's over. 2 years. Remember, I got it in 1920. So 21, 22. It'll be 3 years.
Holy cow.
This probably February. So anyway, so no call from Finley or anything, but it's in and it's registered to be replace that dash. It's trashed. It's ugly. And Jeep's nice. And I called up today and got into the corporate with this Cilantros or Stellantis or whatever it is. And they basically said, and I gave them the analogy. It kind of feels like this. I just came off. I'm a football player, high school football player. I just came off. We just won the game. I'm dating the cheerleader. She comes over to me after the game and says, hey, look, don't call me again. What? I thought we were going out. I think we were dating. We got a relationship here. No. So this letter means nothing. They said that expired. I go, what do you mean expired? I have a covenant. I followed the instructions. They call it an X18 or X81 warranty extension, and it has an expiration time on it. But Finley didn't tell me. They didn't tell me. No one told me. We're sitting here twiddling our thumbs, just hoping that we get this major part of the car fixed. So what's up with that? I think there's an obligation. If you say, hey, come on in, we're going to do this for you. Nope, psych, juke, we're not doing it. Not going to happen. It's really a mess. So the what's up with that is a little disturbing here the night before Thanksgiving. And we'll figure out who does the right thing because we didn't do anything wrong. And we'll see if the big corporate wants to turn their back on us and not help out the little guy. I was very pleasant with them today, and I wished the two people I spoke to wish their family themselves happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for the fact that we're even driving the Jeep and that we have it. It's a paid-for vehicle. I love it, and I'm thankful for a lot of things. My family, my immediate family, my not immediate family. I'm thankful for Jerry's family. Thankful for the family that I may have in the future. No, I'm not going to do that. But I just want to say thank you.
It's a joke, Caroline.
It was a joke. But I do want to say thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Jerry, you got any parting words?
No, I appreciate you having me on here. And I will reiterate the amount of attention I'm willing to give my clients is one of the reasons why I refer Mike. It has to match the effort that I'm willing to make and my team is. And that's what I get from Mike. So I never have to worry about, am I passing them off to someone that I can't trust that's going to take care of it? And it's never been that way. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Home loan officer with Loan Depot. And thanks for listening to Mortgage Madness with Mike Hobbs and Jerry Spray with Farm. Great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week. We'll have the show going then again. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye again.